Okay, well let's forget all about the arguments about where the capital city is going to be, Ashran or Karabor or wherever the hell. Let's face facts, this is where you're going to be spending most of your time, in your garrison. This is where you're going to do all your profession crafting, it's where you're going to develop all your resources, it's going to where you spend a lot of time doing follower missions that are a lot of fun. So let's just have a look around it, shall we? So let's have a look at a level 3 garrison outlay. You've got large, medium and small plots, as well as a few buildings which are standard, you don't have to choose those. At level 3 you're allowed 3 small plots. These are mostly used for professions. For most of your levelling you will have 2. There are a few other things such as a storehouse, as well as the salvage yard, but all the rest of the small buildings are based around your profession. So I, for example, am an enchanter and a blacksmith, so I've got a forge and an enchanter's study to help me get work orders for the materials I need for those. Each of your profession buildings has 2 NPCs as standard. One sells patterns and one is for the work orders. The patterns are bought using secrets, which you craft at the rate of 1 a day. You learn this with your standard set of patterns when you get the scroll for Warlords of Draenor crafting. Main ones come through quests, with secondary profession scrolls coming from random drops. The same with gathering profession scrolls. You get the scroll for archaeology by actually doing some archaeological digging. Your first dig you will get the archaeology scroll. The work orders NPC lets you stack up a certain number governed by such things as the level of the profession building. They tend to take about 3 hours per order, but if you stack up enough in advance you don't necessarily even have to check back each day. If you've got a lot of alts you might not want to check back every single day. That's fine, every couple of days you still will be keeping them working. Completed work orders are left in little crates outside the relevant building. Having a follower work at your building increases the benefit of placing work orders. They can sometimes also give you buffs, as can be seen here with Mile at the forge. The higher the level of the follower, the better the benefit you get from them producing work orders. You can also acquire your own raw materials, though in a more limited way than actual gatherers. At level 92 you can open up a mine in your garrison via request. This gets bigger as you gradually upgrade it to level 3. Even non-miners can see yellow dots on the minimap for the mining nodes in your garrison, even bigger than for miners. This doesn't of course work in the outside world. Also, if minimaps are hard and the giant outcrops of ore are not obvious enough, they've also given you a ready red yellow glow around them so you can't miss them. At much later level, about 98, you also get a quest to set up your herb garden. At level 3 this not only gives you a daily quota of herbs to pick, but also a tree that drops buff food fruit. The buff you get depends on the fruit and that varies randomly each day. They despawn when you log out like other conjured items. To get the fur and hides you need for tailoring and leatherworking respectively, you can build a barn and trap beasts. Some beasts give fur, some hides and some food items. It's not random however, as it depends on the type of beast. Serious crafters will need to build a barn in order to give them access to the savage blood reagent needed to make the high level items. For standard reagents you're able to get more from the trading post. Here you can use garrison resources to pay for crafting reagents. At later levels you can also get quest items to build an auction house facility. The level 3 bonus for this is a 20% increase in reputation on Draenor. Okay, so let's have a look at some of the medium plots now. So at level 100 with your maximum level 3 garrison, you can have 2 medium plots. The barn we've just been through, if we just run through what you can get at each level. So as a level 1 barn, it allows you to capture the basic animals around Draenor for fur, which you'll need for tailoring, and hides, which you will need for leatherworking. At level 2, it allows you to capture some different types of beasts that you need for meat, which you'll need for cooking and buff food. And then at level 3, it allows you to capture the elite beasts, which are on Nagrand. You'll need that. You also get the usual things: furs, hides, food, whatever type of beast is. There's also a chance you'll get some savage blood, which is a reagent which can be traded on the auction house, but obviously I think to begin with it's probably going to be easiest to get it for yourself, and you need this for upgrading your epic items to make the most powerful crafted equipment. Another thing on the list, the Lunarfall Inn. The main purpose of this one really is to buff your followers, to get more followers. At level 2, each weekly reset, it will allow you to recruit 1 follower. It's random, you get a choice of 3, but you can decide if you're after a particular trait or a particular ability. Let's say, for example, I wanted a follower to work in the mine. I haven't found any NPCs that are able to work in the mine naturally. I want someone to boost my mine orders because I'm a blacksmith. I want as much ore as possible. I can ask it to search for that and it will give me a selection, and I'll pick that. It's always level 90, so you have to then level it up to level 100 before it becomes really useful. At level 3, which you can see I've not unlocked here, it says it unlocks the particularly lucrative treasure hunt missions. Who knows what that is? Maybe ask Click. Gladiator Sanctum, PvP, not interested. Sorry, ask a PvP player. The Lumber Mill actually is the first medium building I created. Ostensibly, what it does is it allows you to build up garrison resources. Now, if you can see here, at the moment I am on 3,178 garrison resources out of the maximum 10,000. When I got rid of my lumber mill and started building some of the other medium buildings, I had 10,000. It's a really good way of building up your garrison resources because essentially you put in work orders using the lumber that you gather around Draenor, which you can only gather if you have a lumber mill, and you get a lot of garrison resources back from those work orders. So the idea is once I really run down here, I will build myself a lumber mill again, boost my stocks up, and then replace it yet again. The lumber mill does give you access to 2 followers as well. The trading post we've just had a look at as well. The main purpose for this is to use your garrison resources to buy some crafting reagents that you're a bit low on. I would suggest this is useful for alts that can maybe then supply you with those crafting reagents. You notice that level 2 gives you access to a couple of factions here, another reputation. I'm not entirely sure what they do yet, but you also get at level 2 a quest to find items around Draenor and in dungeons and in raids as well, I believe, to build up an auction house facility, as I mentioned. And then level 3 increases reputation gains in Draenor by 20%. Plans for the garrison buildings are unlocked mostly by levels for level 1 and level 2. For example, you can build a level 1 Lunarfall Inn at level 92, but generally need to wait until level 98 before you can buy the plans for the level 2 version, which is what you need in order to recruit the followers. However, as you level, you occasionally get an outpost manual, sometimes a comprehensive outpost manual as a quest reward. These can be passed on to low-level alts in order to purchase the level 2 plans from some upstart gnome near the Flightmaster at Ashram. The benefit is that you can have productive alts without having to level them to 100 in a hurry. Now, the level 3 and the final plans for medium and large plots are available via achievements. Some are easier than others, but all are account-wide. This means that once you've completed the achievement for a level 3 building, all of your characters have access to the plans once you've made the level 2 version. Okay, let's look at the large buildings next. Now, just like medium, you get 2 of these at level 100, you can choose 2. The barracks is the first one you will build. You automatically get that as soon as you set up your garrison. As you can see, at level 1 it unlocks what's called patrol missions. And patrol missions have higher than normal follower experience rewards. We'll see about followers in the next video. At level 2 allows you to recruit a follower with the bodyguard trait to accompany you as a guardian. Some of the followers you get, as you can see I put one in here, not level 100 yet, you tell him to go along with you, and then when you're out in the world of Draenor you can have them fight alongside you. Some of them are tanky, some are healy, some are DPS-y. Okay? Level 3 allows you to increase your follower limit by 5. This is actually really useful if you want to really get into your follower missions. Dwarven Bunker is another interesting choice. It also goes really well with followers because when you put the work orders in a Dwarven Bunker, you have a decent chance of getting some follower equipment back, as we can see here, quite a bit there. Also allows you to get scraps off Iron Horde, or more usually through the work orders. This allows you access to some of the transmog gear, including the Stormwind Guard gear at last. No longer do people have to go around in Imperial plate and try and find some shoulders that are not too bad. Now you can actually look like a Stormwind Guard, should you choose to do that. The level 3 gives you one of your 3 Seals of Tempered Fate loot rolls at no cost each week. Not that they cost that much anyway. Gnomish Gearworks. Gnome's not allowed in my garrison. However, as you might expect, these create fancy little contraptions. I gather they don't get you killed like old Gnomish Engineering may have done. And level 3 there, creation of a siege vehicle once per day, drive it to victory in Draenor. Hardly imagine the words victory and gnome go together. A mage tower is really useful, and I think it's going to be really useful for raiding. Basically, it allows you a teleport. There are various portals around Draenor, usually quite close to the raid instances, and you collect ogre wastelands. You basically just kill ogres once you've got a mage tower, and once you've got enough you can power up one of these portals, and it allows you to teleport from your mage tower and your garrison directly to one of these. I mean, one of them is really right outside Blackrock Foundry. There's another one very, very close to the entrance to High Mall as well. The good thing about this as well, because you can invite people into your garrison, you can actually just have one person with the mage tower in your raid, make that person leader, I suppose. Everyone goes into their garrison and everyone can teleport through their mage tower directly to the raid instance there. The stables is an interesting one. You get a series of quests through the stables to first of all capture beasts, 6 different types, and then you ride them while you battle a series of NPCs. You get a different quest every day, and once you've completed all of these, you then get that beast as a normal mount. The level 3 stable, which you get once you've completed all the quests, gives you 20% increased mount speed in Draenor. The level 2 one's interesting. No longer get dazed by enemies while riding mounts in outdoor Draenor zones. You might think we don't get dazed that much anyway. You do now. Okay, so those are the large buildings. Okay, so on to the last few buildings then. The salvage yard is used for follower missions. There is a chance on completing missions that you can get some salvage if you've got a salvage yard in your small plot. Okay, the fishing shack, of course, is somewhere where you can fish for small, medium, or even large fish, scaling up with the level of the fishing shack. You get quests associated with this as well. The pet battle area is one I haven't completed yet. There are 3 pets you have to defeat around your garrison. I've killed 2 of them, but the carrot in the herb garden still eludes me. I'm not very good at pet battles. I'll have to sort that one out. Garrison resources that are just naturally produced over time can be found in your garrison cache next to your town hall. The storehouse is the final small building you can have. It's essentially just a bank. At level 1 you get your bank, at level 2 the guild bank, and at level 3 void storage and transmog NPCs.